Hello everyone, my name is Rick Jansen. Welcome to my fly tying channel. In Don Freschi's Sport Fishing on the Fly, an episode entitled How to Use Chironomids Successfully, Don has Brian Chan explain 4 of the chironomid pupa patterns that are essential to every fly angler's box. Some of those patterns have been described earlier here on this channel or elsewhere on YouTube, but there's one that I haven't seen demonstrated anywhere. Let's tackle it today. It's called the green holographic pupa. If you like this video, please tap that subscribe button on the bottom right of your screen. Thank you. Into my vise I have a Togen's number 10 curved nymph hook. To that I've added a 7/64 white bead, and that's the bead I saw in the original pattern, so that's why we're going with that. I am using, this is the only change that I've seen on the fly, and it's just a matter of taste. I've gone with light olive 70 denier tying thread, and there's reasons for that. It's what I'm trying to mimic. Now, to be perfectly honest, I don't have a recipe for that fly, but like getting one on the water from a buddy, you don't always think to ask for the recipe, or nor is it always offered. So what you do is you take the fly home and you look at it closely and try to mimic what you see there. And that's what exactly what I'm doing with this fly. I've had a close look at that fly on the video, and I've seen its appearance. I get the general drift of it, and so I've taken the fly tying materials I have and tried to come up with something that looks like it and is appealing to my eye, and I hope the fishes as well. So the 70 denier olive tying thread, and then I'm coming in with extra small reddish tinged copper wire, and that's going to form our rib on this fly. He used a red rib on that fly, and I'll do exactly the same thing here. So let's snip off a length of that, and get that tied in there and tucked in behind the bead. Now with the bead, because I'm not putting gills on there, I've put the small end of the bead toward the eye so that the big end doesn't slip up over the eye and obscure it for tying on. That requires a bit more thread behind the fly to fill up that gap there and dam it so that it doesn't slide back on your shank or your hook. Now we'll get a bit of a shoulder built up there. That's looking nice. And we'll now work our way back, guiding the thread down the shank of the hook with the wire to give a nice even coat of olive tying thread to it. We'll get down well into the bend of the hook. I like to go down fairly far. And now for the main body material is Flashaboo in Kelly Green. And I'll just select a single hair of that out of the package, strand of it there. And we're going to tie that in at the tail, just here ahead of the wire, and then wind back to the wire again. Now we'll snip off that tag end, but I'm going to leave the thread back here for a purpose that you'll see shortly. Now I'm taking that Kelly Green Flashaboo and giving it a coat all the way up the fly, and then we'll come back, give it a thorough coverage, cover any gaps that we make on our way up. Looks like I actually have 2 strands there. That's no harm done. It's a very thin material, and it won't add to the bulk of the fly too much, or not perceptibly anyway. Now we come back, covering any gaps that we made in our first wrap, and we get that all the way back to the thread and the wire. Make sure we miss that point of the hook there. And now we'll tie off. And we'll cut off that excess. Lay that aside. And now what we do with the tying thread is we want to mute this holographic, the flashabou, and we'll use the thread to do that. We're just going to cover up some of it right at the base and then work our way up using the thread to dull down that flashabou and give it that intermittent sparkle that we're looking for instead of the whole sheen of green all over the fly, which might be too much. The original doesn't look like it's overly flashy, but it's definitely got some sparkle to it, and this was my method of creating that look. And so there we go, we're covering up a deal of that flashabou, but not all of it. We want some of it to shine through all the way up our little pupa bug here, and especially a little more so at the top. So we're not going to cover up all of it at the top here. I just want a little more of that flash shining through there up toward the top of the fly. I think I've got the coverage I want, the look I want, and now the red wire. And I like to leave a little tag at the butt end behind the flashabou and the thread, and then do my 5 to 7 wraps. There's 1, try to lay these carefully, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll get that trapped in there, catch that, give it a secure binding, because we're going to helicopter that out of there, and we want to build up that shoulder just a little bit more to make sure everything stays secure at the head of the fly. Now we'll support the fly and give that a helicopter, and then we'll simply whip finish this. Pull it nice and tight so it doesn't go anywhere. Snip that off close. And a drop of UV clear fly finish in Flow. Just a drop of that. Use our bodkin to spread that around, and then we'll cure it with the light. And there we go, we get it all evenly coated on there. And you see we've got a nice holographic look to it without it being overpowering. It's definitely green with the red rib. And it's a very smart looking fly. I know it's going to catch us some fish, and I thought, why not demonstrate that one fly that Brian relied on. And it's worth taking his advice. The guy knows what he's talking about, and so I thought I'd give you a fly here that looks an awful lot like the one he showed in that episode of the Sport Fishing on the Fly. So there you have it, the green holographic pupa with a white bead. I know it's going to catch us some fish. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, please consider sharing it with a friend, and tight lines out there. Good luck. Bye for now.